Once a thriving economy on the rise, Turkey now finds itself in a state of economic turmoil. Inflation spirals out of control, and the national currency, the lira, crumbles under the pressure, leaving countless Turks struggling to make ends meet. From factory owners to farmers and retailers, the ramifications of this economic crisis have been felt across the nation. According to a recent survey conducted by the Yonelem Social Research Center, the truth might be a much more dire reality, as it claims more than 2/3 of the Turkish population battles to afford basic necessities such as food and housing, and as an added disadvantage, this financial strain has led to a disturbing increase in mental health issues and debt. However, it wasn't always like this. Just a few short years ago, Turkey's economy was flourishing, with a steady average GDP growth of 5.8% per year between 2002 and 2021. And so the question was born, what caused this sudden and drastic downfall, and is there any hope for the future? Welcome to Around the World, and today we'll be talking about how Erdogan destroyed Turkey's economy. For those who frequent Turkey, the tale of the Turkish lira is a familiar one. Beginning in 2013, the currency's worth has been gradually declining, and in recent times, the downward spiral has only accelerated. In just a matter of months, the exchange rate has skyrocketed, with $1 equal to nearly 19 Turkish lira in December 2022, compared to just 8 in September 2021. This devaluation has had a major impact on the economy, particularly in the form of rampant inflation. See, when a currency loses value, imported goods such as fuel, raw materials, and technology become more expensive, driving up the cost of living for citizens. As a result, Turkey is now grappling with some of the highest inflation rates in Europe, a testament to the devastating effects of a weakened currency. See, at the core of Turkey's financial struggles lies a complex web of factors, but the recent crisis can be traced back to a controversial decision made by President Erdogan. Despite warnings from economists, the president stubbornly pushed for lower interest rates, even as inflation rates skyrocketed. Traditionally, to curb inflation and control the flow of money in an economy, economists advise that countries raise interest rates. By making borrowing more expensive, central banks aim to limit the amount of money circulating in the economy. However, President Erdogan's unorthodox approach to combating inflation by lowering interest rates has now brought Turkey to the brink of financial ruin. To give a quick recap, Tayyip Erdogan rose to power in 2003 as Turkey's prime minister, occupying what was then the country's most influential political seat. From 2003 to 2013, he held the premiership before opting to run for the presidency in 2014, marking the first time in Turkish history a president was elected through a nationwide vote. During the early years of his administration, Erdogan was celebrated for modernizing Turkey through ambitious infrastructure projects, attracting international investment, and significantly reducing poverty levels. These efforts propelled the country into a new era of prosperity and growth, elevating its status as an upper-middle-income nation. However, the landscape of Turkish politics shifted in 2016, with a failed coup attempt, which resulted in a state of emergency that lasted until 2018. Since then, Erdogan has faced criticism for his authoritarian rule, including the suppression of opposition voices ahead of the upcoming elections. However, there are other factors at play as well. According to Dr. Oyvat, the impressive GDP growth Turkey experienced in recent years was actually unsustainable. This is due in part to deeper structural issues, such as Turkey's substantial current account deficit, which indicates that the country imports more than it exports. But another critical factor is interest rates. Typically, when economies experience rapid growth, central banks may raise interest rates to cool the economy down. This is accomplished by making it more expensive to borrow money, which slows economic activity. In the case of Turkey, however, the central bank has kept interest rates low, leading to an economy that is spiraling out of control. As Timothy Ash, an emerging markets expert at Blue Bay Asset Management, explains, the Turkish economy is always running too hot. Growth is excessive, domestic demand is too strong, imports are too high, everything is overheating. The result of this has been a devastating loss of confidence in the economy, as both foreign and domestic investors withdraw their funds due to the plummeting value of the lira. Timothy Ash attributes the low interest rates to President Recep Tayyip Erdogan's unconventional approach to monetary policy. According to Ash, in the past, Erdogan secured electoral victories by injecting the economy with cheap money, but now the consequences of this approach are becoming clear. Ash also notes that the low interest rates have been advantageous for major financiers of Erdogan's AKP party, such as the construction and real estate industries, which are able to reap greater profits from cheaper loans. Erdogan's religious background as a graduate of the Imam Hatip Religious Vocational School has been a point of pride for the Turkish leader and has played a role in his interest rate policies. Erdogan cites Islam's stance against usury, which views lending money at interest as sinful, as one reason for the reduction in interest rates in 2021. According to Ash, it's a combination of all these things. Over the years, Erdogan's traditionalist views and neo-Ottoman policies, including heavy investments in mosques and religious institutions, both domestically and internationally, have earned him the support of his more conservative followers. However, his detractors have accused him of using these policies as part of a populist ploy to win over voters in a country with a nearly century-long history of institutionalized secularism. So why are things not changing? As the situation in Turkey continues to spiral, the people are well aware of the root cause of the problem. Despite criticism from Turkish officials, the country's central bank lacks independence from the government, making it difficult to address the economic turmoil. Adding fuel to the fire, President Erdogan has repeatedly dismissed finance ministers and heads of the central bank who have challenged his unconventional monetary policies. Instead, he surrounds himself with yes-men who refrain from speaking truth to power, says Ash. The centralization of power in the hands of the president has contributed significantly to the current state of the Turkish economy. In the early years of AKP rule, the government was a broad church, but now it is solely controlled by Erdogan, with all other centers of power within the party forced out. This lack of checks and balances has created an environment where the economy is overheating and the population is suffering. As the economy continues to suffer, the Turkish people are feeling the effects. The devaluation of the lira has led to skyrocketing inflation and a rise in poverty levels, leaving many struggling to make ends meet. The lack of checks and balances within the government only adds to the sense of unease, leaving the Turkish people to wonder what the future holds for their once prosperous country. As the economy has faltered, support for Erdogan and the AKP party has dwindled, leading to their loss in local elections in 2019 for Istanbul and Ankara. Ash stated that the citizens of Turkey are feeling the effects of the economy and their own standards of living declining. Erdogan's future will be determined in the national election of 2023, but he may still have the chance to recover, particularly by increasing public spending. Ash explained that the president could allocate funds to key groups, such as pensioners and public sector workers, to secure their support in the election. The minimum wage was recently doubled in response to the inflation crisis. However, there is also concern over Erdogan's suppression of opposition voices and his implementation of media laws that criminalize disinformation. If the polls do not improve and economic policies remain unchanged, the long-term prospects for the government will be grim. According to Ash, the election of 2023 will be the closest fought in 2 decades, with high stakes for Erdogan. Despite the unpredictability of elections, Ash believes that it will be a noteworthy event. With the state of the economy this uncertain, it is very hard to draw conclusions and decide how the country would head in the coming years. But one thing is for sure, the Turkish economy is not what it used to be, and everyone can tell. A successful future is not impossible for the country, as many plans are being placed to fix the problem. But what do you think? Is the future bright for the country, or is this just the beginning of the storm? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you found this video interesting, and while you're at it, why not check out this other video? Until next time, bye!